It's us again.
Hello.
We're back. Hi. A classic that we're here listening to. Shout out to Tina Turner. Talk about what's love got to do with it. So that's what today's topic is. But let me turn this off for y'all so y'all can hear us talk. Tina Turner is a classic. So, Nerita, today we're going to be talking about what's love got to do with it.
What's love has to do with it?
Hi, I'm Miss Veronica.
And I'm Miss Nerita.
And we're going to talk about what I call the 5-5-4. So to start us off with, I'm going to start us off with what is self-love. That's one of the most. You cannot love someone else if you don't love yourself. Right?
Yes, very
Do you
important.
love yourself?
I love me some me.
I love myself, all my imperfect ways. Is you going to accept it or not? I need you guys to say this. Are y'all ready? Y'all ready? Say it with me. I love myself.
Myself.
All right, did y'all say it? Okay.
Okay.
I think they.
I heard him.
I think some of them said it. But all right, so let's talk about it again. You know, me and my numbers. So, what does it look like to love yourself? Let's talk about your whole self. Who are you? The very first thing is your physical. I don't care if you have long hair, short hair, brown hair, gray hair. You should love your physical, who you are.
Yes.
You are wonderfully and perfectly made.
Mm-hmm.
If you're tall, you're short. You know, I've gained a little weight, but that's a struggle. That's another whole video, but we're not going to talk about that today. But physical, who you are physically. You have to take care of this thing called your body.
Yes.
Do you like your vegetables?
I love, certain ones.
Certain ones?
Certain
Okay.
ones.
You know, again, no perfection, but it's about eating healthy, getting the things that you need to take care of. Because you only get, how many bodies do we have?
One in a lifetime.
One. You got to take care of it, okay? Number two. So number one was physical. Number two is your intellect. You got to feed your brain.
Mm-hmm.
I love reading.
Yes.
I love great music that tells a story. Not the stuff that just makes my head go, I can't do that. You got to feed this thing called your brain. And one of those ways is needing sleep. Going back to the second video that we made, we talked about how you communicate. You cannot be up on those cell phones all night long.
All night long. No.
I give myself a carefree. I got to go to bed so my brain can be right. Okay? So how do you take care of you, your whole self?
Mm-hmm.
So we got first physical, then your intellectual. Now you're talking about your emotional. How do you take care of your emotional base of who you are?
Mm-hmm.
That is, if you're sad, it's okay to be sad, but don't stay there. If you're angry, we talked about that in our last video, that we do get angry, but you got to find a way of dealing with that.
Mm-hmm.
That could be walking it out, screaming it out, not in someone's face. I'm not going to go like, screaming. But emotionally, we have needs. We got to be able to feel that someone can connect with us. That goes back to the very first video with being able to talk to someone and being able to express yourself. Okay. Number 4, social. How do you socialize? That goes again to, can you walk into a room and go, hey, how you doing?
Right. Yeah.
Or do you just go? Our social skills. I find a lot of people have lost their social skills. They don't know how to walk into a room. Do anybody know someone who can walk into a room and have a 30-minute conversation with somebody? I know my mom could do that. Mm-hmm. She could walk into the room and I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. And she have a 30-minute conversation and she would make it longer if I was complaining. I was like, no. So our social skills, how you engage with other people makes you that awesome person. Do you have a great sense of humor? Maybe you that serious person that people come to and ask for advice. Mm-hmm. So we got a lot of different ways that you as a person socialize. The next part of who you are is your spiritual aspect. Now, I'm not talking about if you're Baptist, Protestant, or non-religious, non-denominational. I'm not talking about that. Your spiritual side is this. You know what it is, Nerita?
Yes.
That part of saying, I have purpose.
Yes.
I woke up in the middle of the night like, why am I here? What am I supposed to do? You may not have the answer right now. Trust me, I didn't have the answer at 14, 15, 16. It was more like 20-ish when I was like, okay. And you may have reasons that you may not know until down the road when you reach my ripe old age, and we're not going to talk about it right now. We'll talk about it during our Zoom. You can ask me then how old I am. I don't know. Nerita, will you share your age?
Absolutely not.
Okay. We'll get to that. But the spiritual aspect of who you are is knowing that there is something you have something that you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Every last one of us
Has purpose.
Has purpose. That's what we mean about the spiritual part of who you are.
Yeah.
The last part is what I call like the cherry on the top of this here wonderful thing that I call pies, is the fact that we have to take care of ourselves financially. And that goes that all of this connects back. Physically, are you able to go out there and work? Intellectually, there's something that you enjoy doing.
Mm-hmm.
Emotionally, can you go and be okay with working in an environment because you're socially able to talk to other people because you know there's a purpose for you to be there. And when you have all those things working, you love yourself, and as a whole person, when you meet someone,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to depend on like, tell me I'm awesome, Nerita.
Mm-hmm.
I don't need that.
Right.
Because
right.
I can set it for myself.
Right.
So that's the 5. You're physical, you're intellectual, you're emotional, you're social, you're spiritual, and then cherry on top is the financial part where you go out here and you become independent for yourself. And that's what we want for every last one of you. So that's the first love, loving yourself in those 5 ways. Nerita's going to take over about my next awesome one.
Okay, we're going to talk about the 5 love languages. This is very important. Pay attention. So the first way that people show love, or some people show love, is through words of affirmation. That's a big old word. Let me break it down for you. Words of affirmation. That is speaking your love, okay? So when you speak your love, you may say things like, I appreciate you. You may give compliments. So that is words of affirmation, okay? Another way is quality time.
Yes, that's
We
mine.
love quality time, right? Because you are spending personal time. You are shutting out the world. It's just you and whoever, and whether it's a movie or taking a long walk or just binge watching. I guess it's a new thing now. Netflix and chill. Is that how they say
No,
it?
I don't think
No,
so. That
no.
means something else.
That's,
But that's
okay.
not for this
sorry.
video.
Okay, that's not.
Right.
Okay, all right. Well, spending that quality time with someone, and just like you appreciate it, they appreciate that as well. And receiving gifts is another thing. It doesn't have to be what everyone thinks in terms of gifts, that it's something elaborate, 5 carats, a new car. It is just someone taking time to give you something. Mm-hmm. And that it could be something as small as flowers, something like that. Your favorite ice cream or something. That's receiving a gift. Mm-hmm. And then also acts of service. Acts of service is something that a lot of people don't see that as a love language, because cooking a meal for someone, that is an act of service. That is something that you are doing for someone, if that makes sense, right? Taking out the trash, just doing little things. And I know I'm talking about household things, so I don't want to make it seem like it's all chores, but, just doing something for someone, an act of service. And then last, but definitely, certainly not least, you also have a physical touch. Physical touch is very important. And no, we're not necessarily talking about
in the romantic
sense, right? Physical touch can be holding hands,
high-fiving.
High-fiving.
That's a touch.
Giving someone a hug, which is pretty much anyone that you may be around. So that is a personal touch. So again, people show love in different ways, and through 5 love languages. It's words of affirmation, which is speaking, spending that quality time with someone, that one-on-one, receiving gifts, which doesn't have to be a brand new car, and then acts of service, doing something for someone, and last but certainly not least, the personal touch.
Okay, awesome. So we're going to wrap up this video, but stay tuned because we got another one coming right after this. It's going to go more into the 4. I know y'all said 5, but we're going to talk about the 4. It's going to be the 4 types of love. And we're going to talk about one of the most important relationships that you will ever have. It's one of the biggest decisions you will ever get involved in. And so, stay tuned, come back, because we got another one coming for you. And as always, we want to say,
stay safe,
stay healthy, but most importantly,
stay connected,
because relationships matter. Until then, goodbye.
Bye.